Hello, Jonathan. This is our future. Where am I? Sammy, why don't you show the new guy how it works?
Please. I can't do it again.
All right, I'll help.
Hello everyone, the December review here, back again with a movie review. Today, we have the new horror anthology film, Phobias. It's currently available on video on demand at all your favorite streaming services. As always, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more.
I just wanted to stop.
I just want to get some sleep.
Hey, keep your voice down. You don't want them to take you back to the shrinker.
Why do they call it that?
Too many tests and it shrinks your brain.
The more you talk about it, the better you'll feel. And the less the machine will affect you.
So, with Phobias, we have 5 different stories directed by 5 different people, all interconnected and weaving together around the central plot of the film. We have Dr. Wright, the evil mad scientist who has been taking people hostage at a government-run facility and putting them through a series of experiments that forces them to relive their biggest fear. Dr. Wright is then able to somehow extract that fear to create a fear gas. It's like tear gas, but with 50% more fear. The bulk of the film takes place at this facility as we are introduced to the 5 unlucky and unwilling subjects and then are shown their fear backstories in the form of short films, each lasting about 20 minutes. Now, when I say that they are experiencing their biggest fear, that would be a bit of a stretch, as the film's title and premise is a bit misleading. We aren't taking a trip into a room full of snakes Indiana Jones style, or flying through turbulent weather. Instead, we are shown a series of bad choices each of our case studies have made in their lives. The topics range from infidelity, PTSD, revenge, and theft. Each one is given its own title and plays out much the same way with a lot of screaming and our crew trying to figure out a way out of the facility. The main character is named Johnny, played very well by Leonardo Nam. His story opens the movie as we follow along for a day in his life. He is confronted by a gang of racial bullies and his neighbor is an abusive jerk. He spends his time caring for his ill father when one day he receives a phone call from a mysterious source that says they can help him with his troubles. Turns out this source is a strange supernatural intelligence that eventually goes from AI to reality, taking over Johnny and violently pushing back on the ones who have been causing him some grief. It's not long after when Johnny is abducted by Dr. Wright's team and we meet the rest of the crew. The stories here are interesting enough and range from scary to just plain odd at times. Each one passes by at a brisk pace and are well written, allowing for the Twilight Zone narrative arc to fully work. My favorite of the bunch involves a teacher who, when her husband goes away, invites someone over. Unfortunately for her, he never shows up, but his 3 kids do, and they all know each other from the school. They aren't too thrilled with the affair as it's broken up their home, so they arrive to extract some revenge, home invasion style. This particular short film gets increasingly more and more unnerving as it plays out. The ending is well executed and is probably the scariest of the bunch, seeing how it plays to the home invasion angle. Some of the dialogue and line delivery is a little bit off, but all things considered, it's a well put together story. Gray pops in for the film's final story, playing a manager for a well-off company, who just so happens to also be a murdering, body part stealing lunatic. Think Dexter meets Leatherface. This story is the film's most bizarre and feels much more in line with other classic anthology films like Creepshow and the Twilight Zone movie. Also, Macy knocks it out of the park playing this crazy person, mixing in the right balance of serious and sly tongue-in-cheek. The film's biggest weakness is the interconnecting plot line involving the Doctor and the reasons behind his madness. There's a thin line of believability all horror fans are willing to accept in the name of good movie fun. But the fear gas angle is too silly to be taken seriously, which is a shame because the rest of the film plays it straight. By the time the conclusion rolls around, we move way past silly into eye-rolling territory before it's all wrapped up in a shiny bow, linking the beginning of the film to its end. Overall, Phobias is a well-put-together anthology film that probably should have been called Bad Choices instead. That said, the stories within will keep you entertained if you are looking for a night of fun and scary low-budget thrills. All of our directors hit their mark and the acting is mostly up to par, resulting in a better-than-average fright fest. The main storyline holding it all together is the film's one red flag. But if I'm willing to overlook an artificial digital spirit revenge-killing lightning bolt, then the government secretly funding and researching a weapon based on a human emotion shouldn't seem like a big deal. And it's not to the overall scope of the film, which is just trying to have some fun. And fun along with some scares is what you will get with Phobias. On the horror scale, I recommend the film and give it 3 stars out of 5.
The government have been using your fears to control the population.
They're weaponizing fear?
Let's get you hooked up. We need to get out of this place.